Dr. Doll, and welcome to another video. So in this week's video, I have this very sad looking dolly in front of me. And she is a Gotz doll, I believe 18 inches when she's fully strung. And I know that because of the stamp on the back of her neck that says Gotz. And there's a little number there, I'm guessing having to do with the date she was manufactured. Now, I don't know very much about Gotz dolls, admittedly, other than, of course, they're made in Germany. I know that some of their more detailed and expensive line of dolls are still made in their factory in Germany. And some of the cheaper lines that you see in like Pottery Barn Kids are manufactured in China. I don't know where this one was made. However, just kind of going by the detail in her body and the fact that she is of heirloom quality, I would guess she was made in their German factory, just because she does seem to be a little bit higher quality than other Gotz dolls that I've seen. I do not know anything about this doll really, other than what I've already said. So if you could identify which doll she is, or maybe even when she was made, I would very much appreciate it, because I just don't know. She was donated to me by a mother. I don't really know the history. She was in I have a friend from high school that collected a bunch of dolls that were in really bad shape, TLC condition, from her friends, her mom friends, and then she just brought them all to me and donated them, and this was in that bundle. So I was a little surprised to see a Gotz doll, especially one that I believe to be of higher quality in there, but obviously this one's in rough shape. So she is Charlemagne. Charlemagne's determined to be the star of the video. That's okay. We love our kitty friends. But I would like to see the dolly. Can I see the dolly, please? I know. She's got quite the personality. So this one appears to be strung. It's a full vinyl body and full vinyl limbs. Her head seems to be fastened really well. It's still quite tight, and her arms are strung together through the torso. Those are loose. I can see the tension cups in her arms. And then it looks like her legs are strung together. And there's also some tension cups in the legs as well. So I say heirloom quality. I explain that in a video where I talk about why I believe that American Girl dolls are worth the extra cost. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box below. But basically what I mean when I say heirloom quality is that this is a doll that is meant to be fixed. It's built to be fixed and have multiple lives. There's a lot of dolls that are on the cheaper side that are meant to have one life, and once they are broke or worn out, they're meant to be thrown away. This doll to me seems to be more of an heirloom quality, because I do see a good way to fix her. I think she's meant to have multiple lives. So full vinyl body, but she does have some pretty good articulation because of the way she's strung. I like her dainty little hands. It kind of makes me think that she could like have a ballerina pose, you know, kind of like her hands over her heads, or over her head, I should say. She has fixed brown eyes that are obviously dirty, need to be cleaned, lashes that are a little out of place, and then a slightly open mouth. She has sort of a sad or a like yearning expression, I guess I would say. She has rooted hair right now, which I would try and save, except for I'm noticing a lot of sparsity, a lot of bald spots, And I just think that by the time I go through all the trouble of trying to fix it, it's still going to look not great. And I'm a little bit concerned. I could technically reroute it, but I am concerned about taking this head off because I don't know how the head is strung, and it's still tight. It's still in good shape. So I'm going to avoid taking the head off if possible. And I'm just going to shave her rooted hair, and then I think what I'm going to do is just put a wig on her instead. And then her arms need to be restrung because they're loose, and then her legs need to be restrung. Obviously, she just needs a good wash. She is dirty. She's got marks, just kind of a layer of grime all over her. And then just give her a nice little glow up, some face paint, some blushing, maybe some new eyebrows, some new eyelashes. I've had her for a while and I just haven't gotten to her yet, but I thought it might be fun to film and just kind of go through the process of fixing her up together. So the magic eraser picked up quite a lot of dirt and grime off of her body, but she had just a lot of random marks and stains, and so I used this non-acetone nail polish remover to try and lift some of those off. Most of them came off with this, but there was one really stubborn one on her cheek that later I buff out with some really fine sandpaper. And then there's also one on her forehead that I cover up with Freckles later. Once all of the marks and dirt is removed, I give her 2 coats of spray with Mr. Super Clear, and now we are ready for some makeup. I start with some contouring with some browns. I'm just trying to give her face some depth, some warmth, some shadows. It takes some time because you have to kind of build up the color and build up the layers, but honestly this part is just fun for me, so I enjoy it. And then I took a fluffier brush and gave her some blushing. I gave her sort of a drapey blush over her temples and up to her forehead, and then on her nose. I really want her to look a little more youthful, so I definitely wanted to give her lots of blushing on the face. So she did have 2 spots on her face, one on her forehead and one on her cheek that I couldn't get out completely. So I came up with the idea of sort of hiding it with freckles, and I think it turned out really cute. So here I'm using a pastel pencil to get some freckles on her face. The trick with freckles is to make sure that they're not all uniform. You want them to be different sizes, different shapes, and also different levels of opacity. So some are more faded, some are newer, some are older, and you don't want them all to look the same. You want them to kind of have a random placement. It definitely takes some practice. Because doing freckles, making freckles look natural is definitely an art form, and I'm not going to say that I've perfected it, but I've definitely been practicing a lot. And it helps to kind of use different colors and different mediums. So I went in with the pastel pencil, and here I am going in with some paint and a very fine line brush, just to make it look like, you know, there's some that are older, there's some that are newer, some are more faded, and just kind of giving her a little bit of a sun-kissed look, you know, like she's played outside and she's gotten some cute little freckles. So even though I liked the eyebrows that she already had, I wanted to go in and make them a little bit darker and a little bit thicker. They were kind of on the blonde side, and the wig I want to give her is a dark brown. So I'm just going in and making them a little bit thicker and a little bit more bushy and a little bit more wild looking. I know that there's a lot of ways to do eyebrows, but I'll tell you, these fine line detail brushes have been a game changer for me. Like, what a difference it has been. It's made eyebrows so much easier for me to do, and I think they turn out looking so much more realistic. Then I just add a little bit of brown to the creases of her eyes, again, to just sort of give her more shadow and depth. And then I start giving her some lashes. So she's already got falsies, and she has some lower lashes from her factory paint, but I really wanted to lift her eyes a little bit, because I don't really want her to look sad. Like right now they're kind of just, everything's like drooping down, the corners are drooping down. I wanted to give her a little bit of lift on the edges so she doesn't look sad. And then it's time to start restringing. So this was just me kind of going off of feeling and instinct, and I have restrung some antique dolls before. I've never restrung a more modern doll, at least this particular way. So I just used some elastic, some little brass clasps that I had from doing American Girl restringings. She has the tension cups, just like American Girl dolls. I heat up the limbs in some boiling water so that I can get the tension cups in and out. And then I just pulled the elastic really taut before I squeeze the clasp down, and then I basically just shove it into the limb socket, and it seemed to work out just fine. So I could have probably used a little bit thicker elastic for this, but the elastic I had worked just fine, and she seemed to be able to stand and pose no problem. Okay, it's time for the wig. You guys, I absolutely adore this wig on her. I don't know why, but it just absolutely transformed everything. So this is a Dallas Doll Co. High quality soft fiber wig. It's so soft and luxurious. I decided to give her a side part, and I don't know, for me, she just looks absolutely magical with this particular shade. It just really complements her. And then finishing touches, I give her a little bit of a lip line with a red, and I go ahead and line out her lips and the shape that I'm kind of thinking, and then I go in and give her some crease lines in her lip, just to look a little bit more realistic and give it some more depth and some shadowing. And then once I'm done with that, I just go over it with the paint. So my paint is a blend of colors. I usually use brown as a base, some red. I use red sparsely because it tends to overpower the other colors. And then sometimes I'll put some metallic pinks in there, or some other shades, just depending on the mood. And then I'll put some floating medium or some glazing medium in there. So that's how I get the look I want. And lately I have been sealing the lips with Liquitex gloss. I've been using up until now Mod Podge in a glossy finish, but the Liquitex, I don't know, it's a heavier gloss. It really stands out, especially in photographs. obsessed. I just think she looks magical. I mean, not to like sound conceited or toot my own horn, but I'm kind of in love with her. This might be my favorite doll transformation of all time. When I first started working on her, I didn't see this as the end result, but wow, I'm just so happy with how she came out. So she's in this red satin dress by Mother of Nine off of Etsy. I've bought from her many times before, and it's an Edwardian style. I was saving it for a historical doll that I had plans to do, but when I tried it on her, I don't know, it looked like the right dress for her, so I went with it. I have decided to name her Chloe, and she will be for sale on my Etsy shop. And if you're interested, please go check her out. Guys, I might be hooked on Gotz dolls now because I just so enjoyed this whole process, and I hope you did too. So have an awesome weekend, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.